Hello, welcome to our first episode. I am Angela, and this is
Betsy, and this is the OK Karen
OK
podcast.
Karen.
OK
Yay!
Karen.
OK Karen. Okay.
I am a little bit nervous.
I am super excited, and I hope it's good.
I like the way you phrase that. I saw you hesitate.
I mean, do you know?
There's always a hesitation with the English. I have to say, though, we have gone about this completely differently. I have told 0 people that we're starting a podcast, and Angela has told everyone and her mother and her grandmother.
They don't understand because their mama was like, wait a second. It's you and Betsy. Who's Karen? So completely lost her there. Completely lost her.
Whereas I didn't tell my mom or my grandma, so I don't have to worry about that.
Do you think they would listen?
I think my mom would. My grandmother does not have a smartphone or a computer. So no, I don't think she would.
My mom might listen, and then she might say, okay, that's enough. Y'all don't need to do that again.
She will definitely say that, especially if we get a little opinionated or snarky. Which is kind of the point. I mean, that's kind of part of the title here is that, we get to call each other out for being Karens. So let's talk about why we are starting a podcast.
Yeah, someone was asking me today why, and I just said, I actually had the idea. This is my idea.
It's true. It is your idea. And if it's a complete flop, then I will remind you of that.
Well, it won't be just my fault that it's a complete flop, though.
Shared credit for that one. So why did you have this idea, and why did you want to do this
I just thought it would be a great idea. Everyone's doing it.
Do you listen to podcasts?
No.
Okay. All right. So you don't listen to podcasts yourself, but you want to do one.
But that's because I listen to music. I know a lot of people that listen to podcasts, like my friend Michelle, who said she's going to listen. My friend Johnette, who said she's going to listen.
Look at you calling out, like doing shout outs first episode to people.
Should I do that? Should I put the pressure on them?
You already did it. We're not editing this. It's done. So they'll text you when they hear their name.
Yeah, they will. But I don't know. And then there was so many like crazy things. Do you remember? We were
just
text
weird
back and
stuff
forth.
That we were talking about. Yeah.
Yes, and we would just say to each other, podcast topic. So then when you and Jenny surprised me for my birthday,
shout out Jenny.
Thank you, Jenny. We said, and I forget that my voice is so high.
Don't worry about your voice. No one thinks your voice is too high. It's just when you hear your own voice, it's weird. Here's a question for you. You said you don't listen to podcasts, you listen to music. So why didn't you want us to do something with music? We've done something with music before, and it was your idea.
You want me to sing?
Well, the only other thing we've recorded together has been music, if you remember.
Oh, we did do a song.
And I don't think we should ever share that on this podcast because it's humiliating.
I did share it with my nieces, Dana and Macy. There's
another shout out. You're going to use all your shout outs in the first episode. We don't have any listeners.
I got it. I got some in my back pocket, Leslie.
Okay. Just use them all up. Meanwhile, I have not told a single person. I have talked
about even Sean?
Not even my husband. I did not talk to him about this. He would think we're being ridiculous. And I have to say that although Angela's reasoning is everybody's doing it, great reason to do something, Angela. Everybody's doing them. Do you listen to them? No. My reasoning is more that I think the two of us will enjoy it. So I'm like, I don't really care if anybody listens to it. If we have a video chat for 30 or 45 minutes once a week to do a podcast episode, well worth my time because I get to hang out with my best friend on a Friday night, pour myself a glass of wine, got you the wine. Gotta have the wine going on here.
What-
And then it's well worth my time. Although it has
Absolutely.
definitely not been worth my time trying to set it up. You know, you think it's just going to be easy. But we are not really advanced in technology, the two of us.
You more so than me.
We are 40 years old.
That's tough.
We are not Karens, but you know, I think there's a tendency in everyone.
I
If you
think
don't
there's a
keep
little
themselves
bit of Karen.
Yeah, if you don't keep yourself in check, then if you don't have a best friend to tell you, okay, Karen,
Calm
then
down.
or okay, Karen, then you know
Yeah.
you could really, it's a slippery slope, especially when you're middle-aged, you know, white women. It's just slippery slope and you're a Karen. It doesn't take much. One bad haircut and you're a Karen.
Which I was about to say, I don't see myself with the haircut.
Me neither.
I just don't.
No.
I can see other tendencies,
Mhm.
but not the hair.
yeah,
Not the hair.
I could see that.
Yeah, you definitely don't need to do that cut.
Well, yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot.
Sorry.
What were you saying about our best friends calling us out on stuff?
Just in case you were thinking you might be able to pull it off.
Okay, so next, let's talk about how we came up with the title, which we've already been using the title quite a bit, so that's good.
Yeah.
So we were thinking of the title, and you know, they tell you the advice for starting a podcast is that you find an audience that you want to talk to, a certain topic that you are, you know, passionate about, or you're
Who is
professional.
they? Who have you been talking to?
Oh, just, you know, online people.
Oh, you did some
People?
research. People?
No.
Okay.
Well, I guess whenever I started searching like the best way to record it and the best way to upload to a site, it gets all kinds of like the easiest way to start a podcast, the best way to do this, the best way to do that, etc. And so I thought, well, let's see. We don't have an audience really we're talking to. We're just talking to ourselves.
Basically.
The first committed follower was my sister, who can't wait. She's just dying for the last like month for us to like put this podcast out.
And you
yes,
you haven't even breaking news just popped up, but you haven't even really given her a shout out.
Oh yeah, I said her name a while ago. She doesn't need a shout out. She is devoted. She's devoted. Okay,
Jenny, thanks.
She's been my best friend longer than you have.
Let's not talk about that. That's not my mama's fault.
No,
I mean, that's my mama's That's my mama's fault. That's not my fault. It's
Okay,
actually your mama's fault.
you know,
y'all
I
weren't
would-
even born down here.
It's true.
You should.
I would
That's
also
true.
like to say, though, that there were several years when we did not get along. So if you added up the years, it might actually be pretty close, you know, because middle school and high school years were not the best for me and my sister. The 4-year age difference really makes a difference when it's like middle school, high school age.
Which,
and once we got out of high school, we're good.
To let people know, that's when you and I met in 8th grade.
Yes. Okay. So
you moved down here.
We have been friends for 27 years.
That's insane.
20 freaking 7 years. That is a very long time. That is a whole person's life, and
yeah,
a relatively old person. You know, I mean, not like a 4-year-old's life. So 27 years we've been friends, and I wouldn't say best friends for all 27 years.
No, because
the beginning wasn't really best friends.
We were just in the same friend group. I mean, we still like hung out and did stuff on the weekends when Teresa's dad would let her take
Shout
off
out
work.
Teresa, who was my best friend back then.
Yes.
So yeah, she's got the whole 27 years for sure.
We became like better, closer friends in college.
Which is very interesting. We have a very interesting friend history here because we became closer friends when we were living in different states and have never lived in the same place since. So, you know, from 8th grade through high school, we were in the same friend group. I would say we're close friends.
We were close friends for sure.
Yeah.
Close friends.
And then college and beyond is when we really, really solidified and became best friends. And we have never been in the same place. We've been always doing very different things, from PA school to teaching to living in a different country. And we have really maintained the friendship. So I'm pretty proud of us.
We've done good.
We have
27
done
years.
good. 27 years. Okay.
Is that right? Should I have said well, or did we do good?
We did well. We are good. I'm good.
I'm good. I'm great.
I'm a good person. Let's not get into that because we're going to keep it at 30 minutes. And okay, so the title of this episode is What's in a Name? Letting you know because I hadn't told you that. I already just titled it. It's ready to be uploaded. And we wanted to talk about how we decided to do a podcast, which we covered, and why we used the name that we did, which is Okay Karen, and some other things that were runner up for the name. Okay, so some other titles, and we chose Okay Karen because, like we said, there's a little tendencies for Karen in both of us if we don't keep ourselves if our best friends don't keep us in check. And then also it's funny. I mean, it kind of lends itself. We're just going to talk. We're just going to be these middle-aged white ladies just talking about whatever we feel like talking about.
Okay. Let's not call us middle-aged though. We may be, but let's not.
Okay. So we're just these white girls having a chat with our wine. Is that better?
Yeah.
Ladies.
That's much better. You can say the ladies. We can still do ladies.
Southern ladies. I don't think that, fits as much for me as you, but we can go with it. Okay. So that's why we arrived with Okay Karen. We thought it's funny. It's, it's happening now. I mean,
it is.
I don't know
if
this podcast is going to be 1 episode or 10 or 10,000. It may not be relevant later, but that's okay. And so what the other ones we ended up talking about was, now should we say who suggested which ones? So one suggestion, and we'll see. I wonder if people could guess. One suggestion was Girl Talk. And I'll give it, if you could think, I wonder who said that, Angela or Betsy? It was Angela.
It was
and
me.
Betsy said,
it was totally me.
Veto. That is really boring.
I'm not
even going to click on that. That is just like,
let me tell them where
talk.
I got Girl Talk. I thought about the old Dolly Parton movie, Straight Talk.
Mm-hmm.
And she was on the radio. So I liked that, but I was like, but we're girls. So lady talk doesn't really sound good. Girl talk. And you were like, no, too boring.
Lady talk sounds like it's like a sex show or something. It sounds like inappropriate. Like, listen to my podcast. It's called Lady Talk.
Well, then it would be more like, listen to our podcast.
So I would have to do the intro because we've already discussed my low voice versus your high voice.
Unless I get a cold. Lady talk.
Okay, so I vetoed that.
Yeah.
Vetoed. Okay.
And then we were going to do the Peppas. That popped up.
The Peppas. That was my suggestion because we have been called Peppas before. Not peppers. Yes. Peppas. Because we're spicy. Why are you calling us Peppas? Because y'all spicy. Y'all spicy girls.
A guy in New Orleans at Mr. B's, when we were eating there one red dress run, 1 year during the red dress run, it was a group of guys. One was drunk at the table, sleeping. I mean, I hope he was drunk.
Asleep at dinner with this, like 10 other businessmen there. He was asleep because they woke him up when they left.
And this one guy saw Betsy's feet under the table.
The tables are very close.
Yeah, white
in New
cloth
Orleans,
though over it.
Yes,
and she has webbed toes. Who doesn't know that? Sorry, Betsy, called you out.
We're just gonna break everything out in the first episode. We're not saving anything for later.
There might not be a later. Let's be honest.
This is the first episode and the last.
And he came over and pulled off his shoes and socks to show Betsy his web toes.
Oh, but first he said something about my nasty feet, and we both were like, "Excuse me?" And he was like, "Well, you and your nasty feet." And I thought, like, my feet are dirty from walking around in New Orleans. I had sandals on, and I was like, "It's just so weird," but not that crazy for New Orleans for a stranger to tell you in a restaurant that you have gross feet. So
rude.
But rude, yeah. But it wasn't like, I mean, we weren't completely appalled. We were just like, people are weird.
Whatever. Yeah.
And then he proceeded to tell me because of my webbed toes. And I was just like, why did you even see that? Why are you looking? That's weird. And then, of course, then he had to show me that he also was a webbed-toed freak, which involved taking his socks and shoes off.
and his, like, one guy came and sat right next to me, another next to you. I mean, at our small table, 3 or 4 of them came up to our table. Do you remember? Because the people on the right of us said, do y'all want me to get management? She was probably a Karen because she was ready for management.
She said, do you want me to go get someone from the restaurant to help? To like, do you need assistance to get these guys away from you? So they were very forward, probably brought on by the alcohol, also maybe partly because they're from New Orleans. And there's my first offensive line. But I feel like people from New Orleans will be like, yeah, that's right. Like, yeah.
I don't think they were. I think they were tourists. I think they could act that way because they were in New Orleans. Because remember that one guy that you married said he cannot bring you home to mama?
Yeah, that could still be New Orleans. But anyway, so that either way, it was like 8 or 10 business guys in suits drinking heavily at the table and next to us. And so this guy, a large guy, ends up sitting on my lap, like pulls my chair out. Do you remember this? Sits on my lap.
Yeah.
And is talking to me. And Angela, I'm looking at Angela like, you gonna help me out? And Angela, very calmly, she's not laughing or doing anything, very calmly just looks at me, pulls out her phone and starts taking pictures. Okay. Later, the same guy decides that he's going to marry me to some other random guy, Dwayne. The guy's name was Dwayne. If Dwayne is listening, shout out to Dwayne.
Can't believe you remember his name.
You know why?
You don't remember kids we went to school with, but you remember his?
Why. Because he told me his name was D. Wayne. He said, my name is D. Wayne, remember? And I was like, do you mean Dwayne?
So you're telling me you remember that because D. Wayne, not because that was your first marriage?
No, it wasn't the first marriage. I mean, it wasn't because of that. So he said D. Wayne. And I remember thinking in my head, like visually, like seeing the letters, thinking about it. And I was like, so Dwayne? And he started laughing so hard. I was like, I'm glad he's not offended by that. Because, people pronounce their names differently. I didn't want to offend the guy.
Right.
But anyway, so he was saying how he could marry me tonight. And then the other guy who was previously sitting in my lap says, I'll perform the marriage right now. He calls attention to everyone in the restaurant. And it's like, attention, everyone. You're going to witness a New Orleans wedding. And at this point, I'm like, this has gone too far. Angela now was just laughing and drinking her wine. Like, this is
what
hilarious.
else was that to do?
I don't know, but I
did smile when the tourists were taking videos of us in the wedding.
And Angela then, of course, points out, hey, people are recording you. And there were other tourists at a different table, a family, that were videotaping and laughing.
Stood up to come get a better view.
This is what happens in New Orleans. So I'm like, oh, good Lord. So, but then at that point, I think our waitress or waiter, whoever it was, came over and was like, y'all need to calm down to the end. They weren't really talking to us. And we were like, yeah, you need to go. Let's go back to your table, please.
Right.
Anyway, so one of the men in the very beginning, I gave some attitude to him when he was talking about my nasty feet.
It was the web toe guy.
Yeah. And he was like, y'all are peppers. You peppers. And we were like, what? And Angela was like, excuse me? Probably. And excuse me, what you call us? And he said, you peppers. And I said, why are we peppers? And he said, because y'all are spicy girls. And we're like, okay. So I told Angela that could be a title. Better than girl talk or lady talk. Lady talk. We could be the peppers.
And we came close to that.
We did. We liked that one because it's different.
That was a real contender.
Yeah.
It was a real contender.
It's just something different. And then we also had in the line of Karens, we had Karen and Deborah. Angela was going to be Karen. I was going to be Deborah, or the two Karens.
Right.
But we kind of wanted to make sure, or just Karens. We kind of want to make sure that people, didn't think that we really were Karens. Angela was pitching this idea to every person she works with. And some of them were like, people are going to hate y'all if you just say you're Karens.
That was my girl group. Grace, Johnette, Susan.
Name them all. Go ahead.
Melissa and Michelle. Melissa and Michelle.
All right.
Love y'all.
I'm glad Angela has her support network over there for her podcast.
We also had Sweet and Salty.
That was another one we really like, Sweet and Salty,
we
because
did
of
like that.
our food preferences and also because of our
Yes.
personalities.
Yes.
Those of you that know us, which would be every single person listening to this, knows us, I'm sure.
And if you don't know us and listening, why?
Why are you listening to this?
Yeah.
Were you searching things that have Karen in the title? What happened?
You're that bored? Is because
Mhm.
this can't be that riveting.
No, it can't. I mean, maybe it is. Maybe people really are that bored. I mean, it's Friday night, Angela.
And it's Corona, so maybe they are just out of everything else.
Literally, I've watched everything on Netflix. What can I do? I can watch a video podcast of two girls I don't know.
Which, let me say
I did not say middle-aged women. I said two girls.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I did not know this was a video podcast
until
tonight when we got on.
And it is really for Jenny. Shout out Jenny.
Again, Jenny, look at you.
Beloved sister, who I have been friends with longer than Angela. And I would say that this is just for you. And I think you're probably going to be the only one that watches it, but we are recording it for you. And that took about 30 minutes trying to figure that out tonight.
Oh, it was closer to 45.
Hopefully everyone else will just listen. So Sweet and Salty.
That's my thing. Can someone just listen?
Yes.
Do they have to watch too? Okay, so they can just listen if they want. Okay, that's a good thing. Okay,
and they're probably listening to you. Your girl support group is listening to you right now in their cars on the way to work, laughing at you. That you didn't know what was going on.
They were actually talking about another podcast that they're starting, so we might be put down the list. Who knows? Yeah. They listen to podcasts.
Are these even your friends, Angela? You should be number one.
Well,
I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Have you
We're talking about
yet?
Nothing. Literally talking about nothing.
This could be Seinfeld.
Nothing. I don't think it's that good. So
we need more support cast.
Yes, we do. So we have more names to shout out because that's going to be the whole second episode is just going to be telling people's names.
People are just going to. I know they're just going to be listening.
I hope she's listening.
And they're just going to be listening for their names. So if you don't hear it tonight, folks, maybe next week.
Maybe next week you'll hear your name. Woo!
Yeah.
So exciting to hear Angela say your name. Okay, so Sweet and Salty was one that we really liked as a title.
I did like that.
Angela's a little more sweet. I'm a little more salty. Same as our preferences in food.
Our food preference too. Betsy goes like popcorn chips, and I do like brownies.
Yeah, which is why we work so well together.
I know.
Then we come together, we're like, oh, we got a good mix here. This is
good. We have it all covered.
Okay, so that was another one we liked, but it seemed kind of like it wasn't, enough of hours. It's kind of like that could be anything. It could be a podcast about food versus what we have, which is a podcast about absolutely nothing. So
right. Yeah. So we ended up with Okay, Karen.
Yes.
And you should say it with attitude. Just don't say, oh, I'm listening to Okay, Karen. No, you're listening to Okay, Karen.
Yeah, definitely. It's a new podcast your friend Angela is doing, and it's called Okay, Karen. Just like
You're doing it too.
Yeah, but I'm saying all the people that know about it right now are your friends because I haven't even told my husband.
Well, do you want me to start telling your friends?
No.
I'll tell your friends.
No.
Some of your friends are my friends.
If they're mutual friends, you're allowed to tell them if they're mutual friends, which is a good number of my friends.
It is a lot because I know them from our trips that you planned.
It makes me a little nervous because I don't have like recordings and things out in public of myself very much. I mean, we did the song Friends in Low Places, but we never put it out there for the world, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah, that doesn't need to be out there.
No, it doesn't. And so
I don't even know where that is actually.
Well, I have it on my computer because I downloaded the CD and then you kept the CD. I'm sure you have it in like a memory keepsake box somewhere.
That's funny that you have it on your computer.
Well, my computer is like 10 years old, so.
I forgot about that, which probably is a good thing that I forgot about that. But that was fun. We did it in Nashville on a trip. Me, you, and my mom actually came up. Judy, hey.
Hey, Miss Judy. Glad you're listening.
We went to the not the Opry House, the Grand Ole Opry. We went to the Ryman.
The Ryman, yes.
Yeah. And recorded Friends in Low Places. Because it's a great song. Who doesn't know it?
Yes, and we found out that I don't know all the words. We found out that I am the one who doesn't know it, actually. And also I don't know the notes. So that's what we discovered that day.
Who really sings and follows notes? I mean,
okay,
you just sing from the heart.
It's my worst singing publicly, because it's recorded, I guess. You are in like a little studio, so not everybody can hear you, that I've ever done. I'm going to say for you, it's in the top 2 because you sang at my wedding. And I don't know if you've seen the recording of it. I have it. I have the professional recording of it.
Do you know what my mom said when I was going to do that? So
wait, I would like to preface this with your mom. Miss Judy is the sweetest, kindest, nicest woman in the entire world. So tell me what your mom said about you.
So for Betsy's wedding, Betsy's sister and I did the our maid of honor speech, and we didn't want to get too emotional because we knew if we started and kind of spoke from the heart, we'd be crying. It would be a mess. So we did kind of the intro to Bridesmaids, like how they did. Her and I went back and forth. That was Jenny's idea. Great idea.
Kind of one-upping each other and like fighting.
Stealing the mic from each other.
Yeah, it was a real Karen move.
And then we went into Dirty Dancing, Time of Your Life, because that's our movie, Dirty Dancing, since we were in high school. Remember we talked it out to Michael Bartlett in 30 minutes?
Yes.
The whole movie.
Michael Bartlett. Shout out to Michael Bartlett if you're listening.
So I took the song and kind of added Betsy and Sean into the song and made it about them so it was more personalized. And my mom said, Angela, why don't you let the other girls sing? What's her name? The bridesmaid? What's
Shelby,
who sings really, really. She's got a great voice. Mom said,
shout out to Shelby. You have an awesome voice. I actually wanted her to sing at the wedding, but the cathedral has these specific things and they wouldn't let outside people sing there.
Well, Mom wanted her to sing at the reception too.
For your maid of honor speech. She said, can you get someone else to sing?
She said, I think someone else needs to do it. Now, Jenny and I had quite a few drinks before we went out there. We were just after the mass. We didn't have any before the mass. But after the mass, we just chugged as much as we possibly could.
I'm glad you specified that.
And
in case anyone thought you were drunk before the wedding ceremony. Again, Angela, everyone that's listening already knows you, so I don't think that they would think that. Well,
yes, true.
Well, maybe there's more about your girl support group. They know more about you than I do. Maybe they would suspect that you were drunk before the ceremony. Anyway, go ahead.
No,
your mom tried to talk you out of it.
Yeah, she tried to talk me into letting Shelby sing. But I ended up singing. To be honest, I think I've watched it once or twice back. Because it's hard to watch yourself. It's hard to listen to yourself, hard to watch yourself.
That's why this podcast, I'm kind of like, well, we'll see. Yeah. But you know what? Maybe I just won't watch it. Maybe I'll just upload them every week and have a fun night chatting with my best friend and a glass of wine.
Right.
Whatever.
Just put it out in the universe. That's right. I think that's a great idea. Because I don't know if I'll watch it or even listen to it. It's really
everybody's doing it.
Well, yeah. When we practiced the other night and it was like 2 minutes just to see how the sound sounded, that was a rough 2 minutes listening to. And and look how long we've been going on for.
And I quote Angela, it says, after she listens to the first video clip that we're testing on, She says, my voice is terrible. It's so high. Why hasn't anyone ever told me my voice is like that?
In
And I'm
40
like,
years.
Hey,
No.
hey, we're not saying age. Remember, Karen?
Well, but you put it on the thing, Karen.
It's true. Okay, so next episode, that's off the table. We're not going to be doing age next episode.
Okay. What are we going to be, 30?
No, we just won't mention it.
Okay.
I'm not saying you're going to change your age. I'm just saying we don't talk about it. In case people are listening and they're like, oh, they sound so young and so energetic. Joke's on you. I'm going to bed when we finish this at 9:30.
I know. It's almost past my bedtime.
I was ready to go to bed when my kids went to bed at 7:30. So
well, that's a little, the sun's still out at that point.
Oh, man. Okay, so what do you want to talk about next? We need a teaser here. So what are we going to tell our listeners what we're going to talk about next week or next episode?
I think it's too early to take in questions from the audience.
Oh, I don't think so. We can take questions anytime. Just text them straight to Angela. You know our number.
Text me if you have any questions.
Because I don't know how to provide any links or any way to communicate with us on the podcast. We'll get to that later. We'll see if this makes it to episode 5 before we worry about any of that stuff.
Hey, if this gets to 100 episodes,
we're doing merchandise.
I'm getting beats.
Yes. On a final note, Angela wants to get some beats.
Yes.
And I asked her what she was going to do with them. Angela?
Put them on my ears. Listen.
Okay, but when are you going to need them instead of just listening to music out loud? You're not going to wear them in the car. Are you going to wear them in your house? You live alone.
Well, if I work out ever again, if I ever start that up again.
In your house?
Yeah, on the treadmill.
But why wouldn't you just listen to it out loud then in the whole room?
Because I don't like that. I like, because my treadmill's in my garage. So okay. I don't like everyone to hear because I raised the garage. So, because it gets so hot.
Raise the garage. She means everyone. She means open the door. Open the garage door.
Opens the doors. That's what I do.
She raises the garage door. I will be translating for Angela speak.
And
for Angela speak tonight.
Sometimes I go, well, I haven't done this at all this year, but I used to walk the little Long Beach Park thing.
Okay. All right. So second question is, how do you use Beats? I think you told me last time. I don't know. You just plug it in. You just
plug it in. Yeah.
Where do you plug it in?
Somewhere on my phone is what I'm assuming. Probably where this thing is plugged in. Okay. But then someone like yourself told me, I think they have them that you don't have to plug it in. So
I think most of them now they offer Bluetooth. Yeah, they offer Bluetooth. And Angela said, well, then can't everybody connect and hear what I'm listening to?
Yeah, because you know me. I listen to that hard stuff. I think the hardest thing I have is Ludacris on my phone.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
I love some Ludacris.
So next week, do you want to do movie reviews or, we could do an episode on Dirty Dancing or something like that, some kind of movie things, keep it light.
I do.
Or do you want to go straight into current events that are happening in our country?
No. I think it should be totally completely light. We don't need to delve into anything deep or controversial.
Because everybody else is. So if you're listening to Okay, Karen, then you are here to buy some time in the car, to relax and have some wine, to listen to something light and
hold on. Don't have the wine while you're in the car.
No. To listen to your friends babble on about nothing while you wash dishes, whatever it is not to be completely moved or thinking about the heavy things that are happening in the world, because we have a lot of that. So this is a little break. It's a little break from all the other heavy stuff that's happening right now.
This is like a little ray of sunshine.
And Betsy.
There's our salty.
There you go. Although I do not have Ludacris on my phone, so I don't know who's salty.
You're missing out. That's what Dr. Tyler puts on so I can close. And he knows it.
Yes. Okay.
I think we should
next week we're going to
go
do
into
episode 2 is going to be something about movies, rom-coms,
right?
Or our favorite Drew Barrymores, or something just lighthearted, something like that.
Now, see, you went with Drew Barrymore. That's your favorite?
No, I said that because we had discussed that with Jenny. Remember, we were saying, like, what's your top 5 Drew Barrymore movies? And you guys were listing things. And then I said, what about Ever After? And you both went, oh, we forgot about Ever After. And I was like,
Ever After is so good. It is really good.
We just kind of, it was off our radar because it's so different than anything else she's done.
And it's older.
It is, yeah, it's a little older.
Yeah, but it also
that was high school for us.
You lose
like our
that
senior year, I think.
You do lose that movie because the 80s are Pretty in Pink and Breakfast Club. They're just such classics, which we talked about that.
That's another topic right there.
I know how those are such classics and they're so bad.
80s movies, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Ooh.
Right. And then, but yeah, Ever After was so good. So good.
All right, we are at right about 40 minutes, so I think we're going to wrap this up. Everyone,
I think
thank you.
I think it was good. How do you think it went?
I feel like it went, and we'll see how your friends like it. I still don't know when and if I'm going to tell my husband that I'm doing this. Just always plan it on. He works nights, so we'll plan on doing our video chat when he's at work. And I've right now, I'm not feeling like I'm going to be sharing any links to our podcast on Facebook. Let's just
okay. So I don't even know how to. I don't even know how to share links. So that's good.
Good. I'm glad that you are. I don't know.
It went quick. I don't feel like 40 minutes has gone by that. I mean,
because that's how it always is when we talk. You know, we're like, oh my gosh, it's 2:45 in the morning. We should probably not talk anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, so. Thanks everybody for listening. If you got a shout out, feel very privileged and keep listening. If you didn't get a shout out, come back episode 2. You'll probably hear your name then.
Right. And we appreciate all your support. It means
we really
the world
do.
to us.
I mean, that's why we're here, is for our listening fans.
We couldn't do this without y'all.
I can't even say it. I'm like, yeah, well, we would probably still be talking on the phone to each other.
We probably would.
Recording it or not, and also drinking our wine and talking to each other the same. Yeah. So
the wine's not even a question.
But if you listen to this, we do appreciate you taking the time to copy a link that Angela probably texted to you and to find the source and figure it out, because you know she's not going to make it easy for you. So
no. Because I told everyone Anchor, and now I don't even know what for them to listen to it on. Because we're on Zoom. Okay. We'll keep y'all updated. Okay, Karen?
Okay, Karen. It's not going to be on Zoom, Karen. It's not going to be
I don't know what
link.
Don't even know what that means.
All right.
I had to download Zoom really quick for this. All right. Well, good job.